So in 2002, we had the second Intifada. So you know what it is?
Yeah,
The
uprising.
second Intifada, uprising. Yeah. How we saw it, how people saw it, is terror attacks. I live in Jerusalem, and Jerusalem suffered the most. We had lots and lots of terror attacks. Bombs that I saw, I was afraid to go outside of the house. My friends that got hurt from those bombs. In front of my school there was a bomb. People shooting inside restaurants, all kind of crazy things. Um, it was a very scary time to live and to go through. And most people, you know, when someone that is close to him die, what they do is become racist and hate, you know, the race that killed his close, his loved. What happened to me is I started asking questions. I couldn't understand why would a person, you know, we're all human beings. Why would a person take his life, take himself outside of his family, his work, his friends, his, I don't know, his, you know, his life? What makes a person give up his life for something and kill other people? So I started asking the teachers and the people, adults that surrounded me, and the answer I got was because Jewish and Arabs never lived together and will never live together, and it's you know, it's a fight that will just always was, always is, and always will be, and that's it. There is nothing you can do. And I didn't get this answer. I wouldn't accept it. I kept checking out how can those things happen. So I didn't get my answer from people. What did happen is a few years later, when I was 14, um, my best friend, she wasn't my best friend then, but a friend of mine. Her father is a peace activist. He's a part of a group called Ta'ayush, which mean together. Um, and she used to go since she was young. Like I told you that it's cool to go with your parents. She used to go to the West Bank, seeing what's going on there, mostly in Hebron, which is really hard times there. And she told me she was in the West Bank, and she told me she thinks not to go to the army. And my reaction was shouting on her and fighting with her and telling her, who the hell do you think you are? People died for you to live here. People are keep dying and keep risking their life for you to have the right to be here. Who do you think you are, not doing it back to them? You know, who are you? So we had this big fight, which I usually have with other people that I talk to them about the army. Just who do you think you are? We have this word in Hebrew, which is a slang which called mishtametet, and it means, or mishtamet, it means someone that ran away from his obligation. It also means a leech that takes all she can from the society and brings nothing back. So that's what we've been called. So after this big fight, step by step, I realized in my mind that what I'm doing is I'm saying what I'm saying, but it's not what I really believe. It's what people made me say. So I went to the West Bank, and I went to a village called Bilin, which is a wonderful, wonderful village with great people that have nonviolence demonstration almost 6 years now. To go to this village was pretty hard because we have to go through a lot of, you know, like this, in the mountains and run away and blah blah blah. Not fun and pretty scary to go through the West Bank, you know. And we got to the village and we sat down. Jewish, Israelis, Arabs, and internationals sat down at the same, you know, same room, and we talked and we laughed and we had fun. It was really nice. And I realized that I'm sitting down with Palestinian, and no one stabs me in the back. No one tried to kidnap me. No one hates me just because I'm Jewish or just because I'm Israeli. And it's a big shock. It is. Like, it sounds okay, it's reasonable, but it's a big shock to see the stereotype the society makes you see is being breaked, you know? It just, because I truly believe that if I will meet a Palestinian and I will turn my back on him, he will stab me. So after this big shock, we went out to the demonstration, and in front of us stood the army, the Israeli army, the army that I believe that is my army, that will always be there to protect me, that will always do things to make me safe and care about me and stuff like that. And of course, as everybody knows, that the Israeli army is the most moral army in the world. So that's what I saw in front of my eyes. And we are singing our song, saying what we want, being nonviolent, and they started shooting towards us, and they started beating us up. And it was like physically it wasn't fun, but mentally it was like a big slap to my face, with like a big shock. Two of those things happening in just a few minutes, and yeah, so this was one of my first steps towards being a leftist, or being, a conscientious objector. But again, people that does usually what people do, because what they're being raised on is they see what's happening, and if they're against the occupation, what they say is that, okay, there is a problem, so we have to change it. How will we change it? We'll change it from inside the army. We'll go to the army and we'll try to change from the inside, like standing in a checkpoint, but being the good soldier in the checkpoint, saying, no, you can't go through, but I'll give you a flower, or I'll smile to you, but you still stand at the checkpoint. Or they believe that if they will be in the army, they will not send people to destroy houses and stuff, but it doesn't happen, because when you're inside the army, you have so much on your brain. You have commanders, you have not sleeping at night, you're depressed. If a commander tells you to go into a village and you say no, you're not the only one suffering. All your friends will suffer. All your friends will have punishment. Just like every army, you have so much society pressure on you that you just do those things, and you just close your eyes and you hope that the minute you will have the chance to go out, you will go straight to India and smoke lots of drugs, and you'll forget from all the traumas. And the other thing is, the army is not a problem. It's the government that sends the army there. You can't change the army. You have to change the people that send them there. The army is just, the messenger. So some people do that. Some people just do like my twin brother, say they're crazy and go out. But I decided to refuse and do go to jail. First of all, is because in the age of 16, you have the first call to the army, and I went there and I told them I'm not going to join, and they told me, we know exactly who you are. We know you're leftist. We know you were in the West Bank. You're not going to get out that easily. So I didn't have a lot of other choices. I could do much more, but I decided to refuse and do go out to the media and show people why am I refusing. Because what I see, what my refusal did, is first of all, I have the chance to talk to lots of people about why I did it. And secondly, inside the Israel society, it shocks people. Because the army is a veto, is a holy cow. You don't talk about not doing the army. You have to do the army, and then you have the legitimacy to do other things. You have to give your obligation to the society, and then you have the other rights, which also not include in any democratic countries don't have such, like, it's not a democratic thing to have. You don't have to give anything back. You first get. So it's first of all this, and also young people, that is so obvious for them that they're going to the army, even if they don't want to do it. It's just a shock in their brains, like, wait, there are people that doesn't go to the army, there are people that actually refuse because something is maybe wrong about the army. And in the Palestinian side, it brings a lot of hope to know that not all Israelis are like that, and not all Israelis are like that. It also brings a lot of hope to the young people that live their life under the occupation. Not even young people, people that are now 40, that all they know about Israel is that they occupied them, and the only Israelis they meet is or a soldier or a settlers, that usually both of them come to harm them.